Hello again, and it's 1 week on from Starmer's resignation. So I thought I'd just have a quick reflect on that and determine whether or not Mr. Andy Burnham is, when he gets in, actually going to do the things that he said he was going to do. So back in December 25, he was talking about how in Manchester by 2028, I think it was, he would get social housing sorted out, in the fact that the net amount of social housing would be positive, because at the moment there's too many tenancies going out and not enough being built to come in. So commend him on that. If he actually gets that done, that would fit bang within exactly what we believe. So nothing new in the world of politics, is there? But this is a call to action, and today I really want to talk about getting candidates for Freedom Alliance. There are a load of local elections coming up next year, 2027, several of which were postponed when Labour decided that they weren't going to be able to actually win any. At least that's my view. And I want to make it clear about how easy it is to stand and get some support from Freedom Alliance as well. A paper candidate is the simplest way, and unbelievably the government actually do put together a pretty good explanation of how to do this. Clearly Freedom Alliance will do whatever we can within our budget that we have, which is obviously always just only paid by the membership. But we've been in this game for a while now, and we know what works, what doesn't work, and visibility is absolutely everything. Hence me talking about this in the start of July in 26, when the elections won't be until May 27. I'm standing in my local election, so I will be canvassing and doing what I can around the local town, but what I need to do is ensure that I'm actually hitting the zeitgeist for my local town of Knaresborough, understanding exactly what it is that really matters to local people and being visible about doing something about that, because that's what will get us into the local councils, that's what will get us seats, that's what will get us a foot in the door. So I'm going to share with you the video that the government provide. It's more of a cartoon than a video, I suppose, but it really does explain it far better than I could.
There are 5 key points you'll need to think about when completing your nomination papers. The first thing to check is that you're qualified to stand as a candidate. There are 4 qualifications for standing at local government elections. You only need to meet one of them to stand, though you could meet all of them. You'll also need to make sure you are at least 18 years old and meet the nationality requirements. Neither the returning officer or the Electoral Commission can confirm whether you are qualified to stand. That is your responsibility as a candidate to check before you submit your nomination papers. You'll also need to make sure you're not disqualified from standing. You can find a list of disqualifications in our Candidates and Agents Guidance, but this list is not exhaustive. There are 3 forms you must complete to stand for election: your nomination form, consent to nomination, and home address form. Your nomination form must be signed by 2 registered electors on the local government elector register from the relevant area you want to stand in. You will also need to provide the full elector number for both of your subscribers. You can find elector numbers on the electoral register. You will be entitled to a free copy of the electoral register for the area you are contesting from the electoral registration officer. If you commonly use a surname or forename that differs from any other surname or forename you have, then you may include your commonly used name or names on your nomination form in addition to your full names. You can only have certain descriptions on your ballot paper. You may only use independent if you are standing as an independent candidate, or registered party description or name if you are standing on behalf of a political party. You do not have to use a description if you don't want to. The rules are different for candidates standing at a parish election. When completing the consent to nomination form, you should strike through any of the qualifications for standing that do not apply. This form must also be witnessed and signed by another person. There are no restrictions on who the witness can be. The home address form must also be completed. Part 1 is mandatory, and you must include your full name, home address, and tick any of the qualifications for standing that apply. You should only complete Part 2 of the form if you do not want your address to be made public on the ballot paper and other official election notices. If you want to stand as a candidate for a political party, there are 2 more forms you'll need: a certificate of authorisation and a request for a party emblem. These forms are available in our nominations pack. Once you've completed your nomination forms, you'll need to make sure that you, your agent, or someone you trust delivers them by hand to the returning officer before the deadline. You will be able to find information about when and where to deliver the forms on the notice of election. For more information on completing and submitting your nomination papers, please see our Candidates and Agents Guidance. You should read What You Need to Know Before You Stand as a Candidate in our Guidance for Candidates and Agents, and seek your own legal advice where appropriate.
So there you have it. That's how to become a candidate. So you can stand for Freedom Alliance, whether it be a paper candidate, whether you want to get out canvassing, whether you want some support as well, because we are with our Belmont Accord partners and we won't be standing on each other's toes. So if there is any type of local candidate from any of the Belmont parties, then we will only have one of those in each constituency. But if we have several seats, then we can go with different partners. We'll organise that, we'll help do that. So please put the word around. Freedom Alliance is looking for candidates across the country. Let's get back to Mr. Burnham, shall we? And looking at some of the promises he's been making about immigration and deportations and other things like that, I'm going to propose that I actually eat my hat if all of these actually get done. I might just doff my cap if they get done. But I'm really doubting that the powers that be will actually allow him to do what he says he was going to do. He had far more power when he was in Manchester in the regional mayorship. Very different when he needs to ensure he gets his backers on side and he does what they say. So let's see what he's allowed to do. Wouldn't surprise me if he manages to deport a few of the ne'er-do-wells, maybe even stop some of the immigration, change the law and bits and pieces like that. But there will come a point when he has to divert attention to, once again, trying to get digital ID, even though he was against it. So I'm very interested to see what happens. And then we can find out exactly what we can do and what we can stand on in all of these elections. So please do contact me or any of the executive if you are interested in becoming a candidate, and we'll have a meeting, we'll talk it through, we'll get to understand your local constituency and what we can do. So really looking forward to supporting many candidates throughout, and in the next 12 months let's see what we really can do in local councils. Thank you.